Hey, what's up everybody? I'm going to be reviewing this controller here, the Mojohn Fight Master. So as you can see, this is a split layout, pinky button inclusive, and also a 2.4 gigahertz wireless controller, and it also has a USB port if you want to play with a wire as well. Now, before we start this review, let me just say thank you to Mojohn for sending me this to review. I did get this controller for free, but I'm not being paid for this review, so all the opinions in this video are my own. All right, so let's do a quick overview and take a look at what's inside the box.
Alright, so the surprises start frame 1. Inside the box, we've got another little box, and in this little box are some goodies. We've got a USB-C cable, we have a cap puller. This thing kind of looks like a spoon. I've never seen like one like this before. It's kind of weird, but I'm kind of down with it. We have another little box inside of the little box. The surprises don't stop coming. And then of course we have a user guide, both in English and Chinese for you bilingual people out there, and a QR code you can use to log into their website for some goodies. Now, maybe you skipped the unboxing, but I know what you're not going to skip. ASMR.
Okay, so as you can tell, this controller is not a quiet controller. It's actually pretty noisy. So if you live in a house where you have lots of family or you need to be quiet and you need silent buttons, this is not the controller for you, because even if you switch the key switches to the secondary ones they provide in the box, it's going to be a loud controller. So if you need something silent, not for you. For me, I like the way it sounds. It's very keyboardy, mechanical keyboardy. So if you're a mechanical keyboard enthusiast, I think this will be right down your alley.
We all know that RAM prices have been absolutely crazy lately, so if you need a boost in performance, you can turn on these beautiful LEDs, and of course these can be set to any color you like. One thing I really liked about this controller is that it has a Namco Noir layout. Now you might be thinking, Chris, what are you talking about? What's Namco Noir? And to you I say, for shame. But to make things simple, basically a Namco Noir layout is a rainbow shape, which means it kind of follows the natural pattern of your finger arc. And of course this controller is completely hot swappable, and it also has the added benefit of getting to use this little spoon thing. Kind of made me feel like a doctor. It was cool. To switch out the key switches, all you have to do is kind of pop it out from the bottom, pull it out, and replace it with whatever low profile key switch you want. It's fun to do. I think customizing is great. Plus when you introduce yourself to people, you get to tell them you're good with your hands. Heh. The default key switches that come with this controller are Kyle Ice Cream Minis, as you can see right here. But remember that little box inside of the other little box? Well, it actually has 3 replacement key switches, but they're different than the ones that are pre-installed in this controller. They're these ones right here, the Saker, I don't know how to say this, Saker Minis. And I actually prefer these quite a bit because it has a shorter travel distance and actuation time. I like low profile key switches, but if you're like somebody who wants a little bit more of a longer stroke, the default ones might be good for you, but definitely try swapping these out because I think they're quite a bit better, at least for me. Now, this controller does have tri-mode support between PC, Switch 1 and 2, and Android, but if you play on PS5, PS4, or Xbox, you will need an adapter for those consoles, so just keep that in mind. This controller's got a pretty premium build quality, and I especially like the anti-slip padding on the back, so the thing's not going to move whether you're playing on your lap or your desk. And here at the top, you see there's a USB-C connector and also the 2.4 gigahertz dongle that you can use to connect wirelessly. And of course, since this is a split layout, I think those of you with big ass hands are going to feel real comfortable on this controller.
Also, the pinky button feels really nice. I think all leverless controllers nowadays should include a pinky button. It's just good to have whether you need it or not. You can always disable it. And mentioning disabling, let's talk about the software to change the button settings and LEDs on this controller. So this controller requires proprietary third-party software, which comes from Mojohn themselves, in order to make changes to the controller, whether that's LEDs or your button layout. I didn't really have a problem with this software. I found it a little bit cumbersome to use. Once I started to get used to it, it was a lot better. But if you're somebody who hates installing third-party software on your PC or on your mobile device, because there is a mobile app as well, then this controller might not be well suited for you. Although I will say the LED settings were a little bit hard to understand because they have these kind of weird naming conventions for each section of the controller. Once I figured it out, it wasn't an issue, but it was a little weird in the beginning. But once you get it, it's no problem.
Okay, so the next thing I like about this controller is the button spacing. With a lot of leverless controllers, it can be really hard to do slide motions. Now you might be thinking, why would I want to do slide motions? Well, you might be a command grab player like Zangief or Potemkin. Now I know what you're thinking, Chris, why are you giving command grab players better tools to be who they are? Well, I'm going to tell you this, it's 2026. If you want to churn butter, queen, churn that butter.
And let's talk about the wireless functionality right now. So if you guys have played FPS games in recent years, when some of you may have, you may not have, but in FPS, wireless 2.4 gigahertz things like mice, that's basically a solved problem, and it's something that I think a lot of FGC players are probably a little bit wary about, asking like, is there going to be lots of lag if I go wireless? Trust me, 2.4 gigahertz with this thing, not Bluetooth, 2.4 gigahertz. There is no noticeable lag if you play this wireless, at least on PC. I don't own a PS5 or an Xbox, so I don't know how it functions there, but on PC, I can do guile boom loops, no problem on the wireless mode on this controller. So you don't have to worry about input lag or anything like that. If you want to play wireless, no problem. If you want to play wired, you can do that too, because this also has a wired feature. So either one, no problem. Okay, finally, do I think you should get this? So as far as I know, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, this is the only controller that I know of that has a split layout, a pinky button, and wireless connectivity. So if those three things are really important for you, I think you'll enjoy this controller. Now, if you're interested in this controller, you can find the link in the description. Right now, the MSRP at the time of this video is $180 US. So it's a bit on the expensive side, but I think it's a well-built controller. So if you need those three features, like I said, split layout, pinky button, and 2.4 gigahertz wireless connectivity, this might be something you want to check out. And that brings us to the end of this review. Thanks again to Mojohn for sending this to me. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps me as a content creator and make more videos for you like this in the future. But thank you all so very much for watching. Until next time, take care.